what you'll be doing, what you are doing in your project work. So to facilitate that, I assume that most of you have the software we are going to use, SPSS. Right. So I'm sure you all have SPSS, or most of you. So I'm going to send you some data files. Right. I'm going to send you some data files, and then we can use that for our work or for today's activity or itinerary. So if you check the chart, I'm sending the first data set. I'm sending the first data set on the chart. And then, so I've sent the first data set on. Oh, it's giving me this file. It's disconnected. No. Okay. This file is disconnected. No. Let's see if it works. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So I have some data set which I've loaded on in the chat. Can you please download it? Now let me start by saying that this is not going to be your typical classroom stuff where I come and teach and then you go. Now, I want us to start because it's almost 20 minutes. It's almost 20 minutes, so let's start. The rest can join in as and when. Just as I said, I have introduced myself, and please, I'm having some feedback. Okay, so the organizers or those in charge of the project work were grateful enough to tell some of us to come and take this workshop with you. Today, what am I going to do? Basically, I'm supposed to do this with Eric, but I have to take this so that next time he will take the other class. So what am I going to do? The objective is very simple. And it's simple because the idea is that I want to provide you with an understanding of the practical experience of a range of analytical skills and then representation method for numerical data. Again, I want you to also get to know the type of analysis that are best suited for a particular problem. Provided everybody is doing something or moving in a certain direction, that don't mean we are all on the right path. And number 3 is to provide you with sufficient background and theoretical knowledge so that you'll be able to judge and apply the technique in a correct manner so that you don't lead us into an incorrect conclusion. Then I'll introduce you to some basic statistical concepts, and then we'll explore using SPSS for data analysis. Now, before we start, let me see by show of hands on the platform, how many people have finished with their chapter 1 of the project work? If you are done with chapter 1, please raise your hand. I want to know how many people are done with chapter 1. Okay, so I have only one person. So that's one group. Okay. Good. So for those, well, I can see only 2. Okay, the number keep increasing. All right, so 3, 4, that's good. Okay. About 7. That's good. Okay. So I keep having, good. So let's start. Alfred, you are done with chapter 1. Can you tell me, just briefly, what your objectives are? Give me the topic, and then if you can tell me what the objectives are. Can you help us with that one?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yes, please. We are waiting for you.
Okay, so the project topic is how logistics management during Vodafone Ghana Music Award. That's the project topic.
Logistic what? Management.
During Vodafone Ghana Music Awards.
Okay.
It's quite simple. Our objectives. The first objective is to identify the issues surrounding logistics management before, during, and after the event. The second objective is to describe the importance of the usage of modern logistics technology. The third objective is to identify how proper logistics management would attract more investors to sponsor the event for it to be well acknowledged internationally.
Okay.
So these are the three objectives of a study.
Okay, that's good. So basically, you'll be doing more of qualitative and some few quantitative. So, right. Okay. So that is good. Good. Now I saw, is it Ransford? Ransford, can you help us with your topic and then the objectives?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, our topic is the impact of supplier development on performance of the supplier and organization using blue skies as a case study.
Okay. So that is the topic. So what is your objective? What are some of the objectives?
Our objective is to identify what approach that the blue skies use. The first objective is the supply development approach and programs that blue skies employ.
Okay.
And then the effect that it has on the supplier, and then the effect that it has on the organization as well.
Okay. So the effect it has on the supplier and the effect it has on the organization.
Yes, please.
Okay.
So first, we want to find out what approach the supplier development approach that blue skies adopted.
Okay.
And then the second one, what are the effects that it has on the supplier, and then the third one on the organization as well.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so basically I can see, so I've called up, I've read. Asantiwa, can you help us? Yes. Your topic, your objective, yes, please.
Okay. Topic is elevating the role of a class representative within the context of a public relation practitioner.
Okay.
And objectives are to provide to prove a class representative and a public relations practitioner have the same qualities. To show how a class representative can go through the same challenges as a public relations practitioner. And lastly, to analyze how a class representative serves as a middleman to relay necessary information from authorities to students and vice versa, just as a public relations practitioner would do for the organization.
Okay, so you are doing more of a chain analysis.
Yes, please.
Don't mind me when I begin to use big words. Never mind. Right. So Ransford is doing more of effects. So he's trying to do effects. So he might do a regression or correlation analysis, whichever way. Okay. One last person, and then we move on. Let me see. Right. Ayuba Dembele. Right. Yes, it's Ayuba. So Ayuba Dembele, your topic.
That's
Ayuba, your line is bad.
So I said effect of inventory management. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but your line seems to be bad. The effect of inventory management on what?
Systems on the performance of food processing systems in Ghana, using Nestle as a case.
Okay. So what is your objective?
So we have three objectives. The first one is to identify inventory management system that are used by Nestle Ghana.
Okay.
And then the second is to examine the extent to which those inventory management systems affect the performance of the company. And the third is to identify the problems or some of the problems the company is currently facing with the inventory management systems.
Okay. Okay. So that is a good. So far, I've heard from Ransford, I've heard from Alfred. Let me pick one more person. I think there's one more person I need to pick, and then we can move on. Daniel Nyako, your topic. Yes, please.
Our topic is the effect on financial rate on financial performance of rural banks in Ghana.
Okay.
Our case study will be based on rural banks in Accra.
Okay.
And then our objective is one, to assess the effect of financial credit risk on financial performance of outfits in Accra.
Okay. Yeah.
And then two, to assess the effect of liquidity risk, financial performance of LTDs in Accra, and then to assess the effect of capital adequacy ratio, financial performance of LCDs in Accra.
Okay. So you are looking at all those ratios, and then you are trying to run it against their performance indicators. So basically, I always have a very simple rule when it comes to research for the student. And I'm going to project something. If you can all see my screen, this is just a very simple way of looking at it. I suggest sometimes you do it this way. You have your topic. What is your objective one? Right, so you write your objective one. What is the research question? How are you going to analyze objective one? That is the analysis question. Okay, if I don't know how I'm going to analyze it, what does the literature say when it comes to analyzing something in objective one? Then you are able to tell yourself, okay, objective one, I'll use this method. Please, if I'm moving too fast or if you don't understand, just show by hand and then I'll call you. So for example, let me use Ransford. Ransford's topic, right? Ransford, give me your objective one.
My objective is to
One, the
uncover
first objective.
to uncover the approaches and or
Uncover.
programs adopted to uncover the approaches and or programs adopted by manufacturing firms in Ghana in the Supply Development Initiative.
Ghana, right?
Yes.
The supply what?
Development Initiative.
In the Supply Development Initiative.
Yes. Supplier
Okay.
Development Initiative. Yeah.
In the Supplier Development Initiative.
Yes.
That's your first objective.
Yes, please.
Yes, so you know the research questions. You just have
Yes.
to turn this around,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What are the approaches or processes adopted by? Then it becomes your research question.
Yes.
Now, how are you going to analyze this objective?
Okay.
You see, a lot of time, I mean, let me tell you what goes on at the background.
Okay.
Right. A lot of time, students come with
Recording
very nice
in progress.
Yet they have analyzed everything, excluding all their objectives. So when you have your topic, when you have your objective, this is the first objective.
Yes.
I can change my objective to a question. Now, how am I going to analyze it? Let's assume that you don't know how you're going to analyze it. Move to the literature, find out how have a similar objective been analyzed.
Okay.
Then you can come back and say, okay, this is how I'm going to analyze my work. So a lot of time when I sit in project defense, I tell the student that they have not analyzed or they've not addressed the objective, and they feel that sometimes you are harsh. But if you have this approach, this table, this little table here, if you have it by your side, my first objective, and once you get your first objective and you are looking for how you are going to analyze it, you get a literature. So indirectly, if you don't know how to analyze, you go to the literature. Indirectly, you are doing your literature review alongside, because that becomes your empirical literature review alongside. So if you have this little table, it's a very complex table, but I'm just bringing you the little metrics for you to understand, so that if I'm able to get how I'm going to analyze it, it will help me even understand how to write my chapter 3 and how to write my chapter 2. A lot of time you read the work, chapter 2 is in Wa, chapter 3 is in Tamale, chapter 4 is in maybe Accra. It doesn't match up. So take your time, just get a matrix like this, very simple matrix. Put it there. It's a very complex matrix, but I have decided to just give you just a portion. Right. Now, once you get this, you are able to analyze. Then you know that I have done my analysis. So when you are presenting your work at the oral presentation, everybody knows that, yes, the students have analyzed their work. Can I move on? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So please have a little matrix. Now, let's see. I think there was a lady I called, Asantiwa, right? Give me one of your objectives.
Yes, sir. Okay. To show how a class representative can go through the same challenges as a public relations practitioner.
To show how a class
representative can go through the same challenges as a public relations practitioner.
That one. Now the question is, how are you going to analyze this particular objective?
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
You see, so the question is, this becomes your question. How does what? So this becomes your question.
So how a public relations? How
does a public representative,
a class representative
go through the same challenges
as a public relations practitioner?
Good. So this becomes a question. Now, how are you going to analyze this question? How are you going to address this question? You see, you might have a very nice objective, but at the end of the day, you'll find it difficult analyzing it. So take your time. If you don't know how you are going to analyze, don't worry so much. Go to the literature. And when you're reading the literature, look at the method that will have been used to analyze it. And then you come back here, and then you put your analysis here. So when you are able to do that for all your objectives, at the end of the day, you just say, okay, objective 1, I'm going to analyze it using this method. Objective 2, I am going to analyze it using this. Your table would even give you the easier way. It helps you even do the literature. It helps you do the methodology and then the chapter 4. So this is how the matrix looks like. Now, during my data analysis class, especially the weekend people, I taught them that we are in an era of COVID. So most of the times, your data is going to be by the Google Forms. And I presuppose that most of you know how to design the Google Form. And the Google Form is very easy because you can save your data in Excel and then transport it to other software to analyze. So one thing is this: you might have the data in a soft copy. This time, paper and pen is becoming a thing of the past. With your Android phone, you can enter data, you can do so many things. That is why, for those of you who were counted during the statistical service census, you realize that it was just paper and pen. It's just tablet. They ask you the information, you enter, and everything is already processed. So as much as possible, for those of you who can, try and do Google Form. And I presuppose everybody knows how to design a questionnaire using Google Form. Is that the case? Everybody knows how to design it, right?
Yes,
no, sir.
No, sir. If you can elaborate on it just small for us so that we can.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly do that, and then before I move to basically what I need to do. All right. So there's this form you have to design. Okay, so let's go to, so this is what I'm going to do. Can you see my background?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I go for Google. Then when you are in Google, just look for forms.google, right? You look for forms.google. Then I like to have this will come. Once you have a Gmail account, it is already there. So once you see, it gives you this interface. With this interface, click on go to Google Forms. I have this recorded, so anytime you want it, I can give you the recording for you to have a look. Now, once you click on this, it opens a form for you. Don't worry about a lot of things you see. I do a lot of research, so I have a lot of Google Forms that I give out to students, and then I use to. So these are my Google Forms. But if you are new to it, click on blank. Once you click on blank, this becomes like an interface for your questionnaire, right? So this becomes an interface for your questionnaire. Very, very easy, straight to the point. You don't need so much to worry. And you need just a little internet. It doesn't consume a lot of internet. And automatically it saves everything, right? So let's assume that somebody's topic, who can give me a topic for me to type in? Anybody with a topic?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so please, yes, what's the topic?
The effect of inventory management systems.
The effect
of inventory management systems.
Inventory management systems.
On the performance of food processing.
The performance of
food
processing.
Yeah, firms in Ghana.
Firms in Ghana.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Let's leave Ghana Limited as a case study.
Let's make a case study.
Let's leave Ghana
Limited, right?
Yes.
So this is something like this. Now this is the topic. Once you are done, please watch my screen. Once you are done, just come. You see this top here. On titled form, just double click on it. Once you click on it, the title goes up. Now, if you have a typical questionnaire, you need to introduce yourself. So this is a form description. This is where you introduce yourself. Oh, I am a student of GCTU carrying a research on this. All information will be used for academic purpose. In case you doubt, please contact this number. This is where you write all the preamble, the introduction. Right, the introduction. Now, when you are done with that, your questionnaires always come with, okay, so this is introduction. My name is Richard, full name, of course, maybe Richard Asravor. I am a student of GCTU, conducting a study on, then you make all those preamble. Then when you are done, this is where you begin to enter your questions. Of course, you design the questions, your supervisors have taken a look at it, and then they are okay with it, so you design your question. I tell my student that I like to have my questions in a certain format. So you see this thing here, it says add section. So I decide to click on add section. Now, when you click on add section, this is what happens. When you click on add section, it brings a section here, right? I like to have it this way. It says that it brings a section here. Now, look at this section. My first section will be demographic. I like to have demographic characteristics. Why do I put section? So that it's easier whenever I'm following up it's easier when I'm following up on responses. So here, add section demographic. Then you can just, if you want a description, this section covers the age, sex, educational level of respondent. Right. So when you are done with this, look at this. When you are done with it, come and click on untitled question. Then you start maybe sex. Because I have been using this form over the period, once I click on sex, you see that it gives you the options. Because Google automatically knows that, okay, these are the options I've been using over the period. So you just, if you don't want to click on it, I can just click on this and it comes. Then I come here, female. If I want to add more option, I add. Now, this becomes the page. Now, if I want to make it compulsory that everybody must answer the sex session, I click on required, this arrow here, right? I click on required. Now, if I want to move to, there's no space here. If I want to move to the next thing, you see this, it says duplicate. I like to use duplicate because it gives me the opportunity to add more to it. So I can click on duplicate. Now, when I click on duplicate, you see, anytime you make this a requirement, it puts an arrow, a star here. It means that if you don't answer this question, you cannot you cannot submit the form. You have to come and fill this section before you submit the form. Right, so let's move on. Let's look at here, assuming I want to change here to educational level. Right. So once you type educational level, you come here. It gives you the opportunity to change. Let's say JHS, SHS, what else again? Diploma, degree. And I don't like using educational level because I prefer using the word highest educational level, because your highest educational level right now is not a degree, even though you are doing your degree. Your highest educational level is the previous certificate you had. So sometimes when you put educational level, people put their present educational level, which might not be so. So here, master's, maybe HND, I don't know, something like this. If I want to make it compulsory, I click. If I don't want to make it compulsory, I click this. I click it. So you can have, and I can duplicate it again. I can change it. It allows me to change. So let's make it age. Let's assume that you don't want to give options, right? Where people tick. If you don't want them to tick, you want them to type. You just come here, click on this. If you see where I click the multiple choice, click on it. Then you use short answers. That is it. Let's assume that you go through everything, you are done with the questionnaire. You want to send it to your colleagues and the rest. Or let's first say that you have this. You want to first send it to a colleague. You see the keyword here is send. Can you all see? The keyword here is send.
Yes.
You can click on send.
Sir.
When you click on send, this is what comes. When you click on send, you have something like this. Right. So you can type in the email of the person and all that. What if I don't want to type in emails of people? I just want to send a link on WhatsApp, on WeChat, on Instagram, and all those stuff to friends and to my page on my Facebook and the rest. If you don't want to do that, you click on this. You see the link. Don't send a long link.
Yes. Yes.
Click on shorts and it gives you the short link. Then you copy the short link. Right click, copy. Once you copy, you are good to go. Now, sometimes, before I forget, sometimes, let's assume that you are doing a project work and then you are in a group of 3. Each and everybody must have this form that has been designed, though it is designed by one person. So you add what we call a collaborator. So if I add collaborators, it gives me the options. Okay, I can, let's say it's a project work team. So I can add more people so that they can also have access to the mail, this particular page. Now, I have copied the link. I am going to paste it on in a group, right? This is just 3 questions. I'm sending it to everybody. Let's all answer it quickly, submit it, and let's see where the results goes. So I've placed it in the chat. Let's quickly answer it. But before then, please look at this. Before you answer it, look at this. This section is called responses, right? You can click on responses.
Yeah.
When you click on responses, this is what happens. It comes here, then you come here. This gives you the opportunity to get all your Excel and everything based on the questionnaire that has been answered. So please quickly answer the questionnaire and let's see. That the 3-page questionnaire, just answer it and let's see what happens. Now you see, once you start answering, can you see my page? Once you start answering, my responses are already showing. So 50% of those who have answered are, so once I click on this, I get the response, 3 female, here, now it is 5 male. So the more people answer, so there are 10 responses. Right, so we have more 15 responses. So as we have more people responding, the statistics begins to change. Right. So, and you can copy this. You can copy the chat, right? It's easier. I mean, once you have all the responses, you can copy the chat. So let me just give you 1 minute. Let's see how many people can respond to all this, and then I'll copy it. We paste it in your Word, and off you go. That's why I tell students that demographic analysis is very, very easy to do. Why? Because once people start responding, it's just a chat. Okay, so let's see, this is 20. You see this place, it says copy chart. So I just copy the chart. It's copied. Now let's see, I paste it in Word. Where's the Word I opened? So this is the Word document I was using. Let's assume I come here and then I paste it. So you see, beautifully it's pasted there. It's telling you 42.9. Red is what? Female. This is a male. Right. Very easy, straight to the point. It doesn't cost you much to have a Google form. Now with COVID, we are moving electronic. And with your Android phone, you can do so many things. Because I have this form on my phone. Most of my forms are on my phone. And you can copy the link and put it on your WhatsApp page to friends and to company head for them to answer it. Yes, I've seen 3 hands up. So let me take all the 3 questions and I answer it. Asantua, you've raised your hand. After Asantua, Ransford, then Asantua, any question? Daniel, please. Thank you. Ransford, any question? Because I can see hands up, 2 hands up.
No, sir, this hands was raised long ago when you said we should,
okay.
We should agree on those who have done their chapter 1.
Oh, okay, okay. So thank you. So you have this, right? You have this. So this is easier to do. Let's assume that you are done with this and you want to really get the Excel form. It's very easy to get the Excel form. You have the Excel form here. You can create an Excel form. You click on the Excel itself, this plus sign. Then you say create a new Excel, and it gives you even the title. Once you are done, you click on create. And automatically it opens another page. Can you see the page which has been opened?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So it gives you this, and with this, you can download this form and use it for so many analyses. It even gives you the time that all the responses were answered. Right. So this time around, with softwares, with COVID, online system has become so easy, everything. Now, let's assume that you are done with this. You have all this information. For those who joined later, I have sent them an Excel sheet, right? And then, so let me go back to my page, of course. Now, so that is just by way of introduction. It's not part of what I really wanted to do. The next thing after all this is that you need to gather your data. So you can download this data set, of course. Very easy to download. Very easy to download. You are here. You can click on file. When you click on file, you see download. Then I want to download it as Excel. I click on it. I click on download. So automatically, it will show me where it's going to download. You see, it's been downloaded. And then once it's been downloaded, it's very easy to use. I'm going to send that one to you so that you see that it is not anything so difficult. So sometimes when I see students saying, say the analysis is difficult, I'm like, why? Right? Maybe it's also because I'm used to it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm saying. So you see that I've sent you the Excel sheet. You can open it at your end and see. It is. Now, let's assume, right, you have an Excel sheet and you want to do complex analysis. To do complex analysis, we must look out for a different software. And what better software to use than SPSS? Right, so I'm going to introduce you to the SPSS interface. As much as possible, I'm not going to do a lot of classroom, like as if we are in a classroom. I'm going to make it very pictorial, straight to the point. For those who have SPSS, kindly open your SPSS file. Open an empty sheet SPSS file. Right, I'm going to open one.
Sir.
Yes, boss.
Sir, please, you said you have sent us some information.
Yes, I sent it on the chat. On the chat. I don't know if you have seen it. Please, have you seen the chat?
Yes, they are there.
Yes.
I'm seeing only the Google form. No, please, I'm seeing only the Google form.
Really?
Yes.
I'm seeing only
Okay.
the Google form. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go back to the chat and see. Okay, to everyone, let me send it again. File. So it says the effect of what we just did online. Please, have you seen it?
No, please.
Oh, you cannot see it. Okay, it's showing me sent, but let me see. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing only the Google form that you sent out.
Oh, really? Okay, so just a minute. Let me quickly see what is wrong with this thing. Can you see it now?
No, please.
Oh, it's just showing me. I've titled it inventory.
No, sir. We've not seen it.
Yeah, but sir, I have it's there. I can see all the effects of inventory management.
Yeah, it's the same thing I sent because you've not seen. You said you.
Yeah, almost three.
Yeah.
You sent two now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
What we just did. Now let's quickly look at this. This is the interface for the SPSS, right? I know for those I thought we would have done this, but this interface is very simple. Let me quickly go back and just refresh your mind. At the name section, you only type names. names are words. You only type words. But at the name section, you don't space it. I repeat, at the name section, you don't space it. At the type section, you click, when you type, you click on the type, you use the double, you click on this side. You click on this side, it gives you the options. Usually, we'll be using numeric and string, these two, numeric and then string. Numeric is when you have numbers or you have to code. When I say code, not complex code. String is when people have short answers that they've written, right? So short answers. Do you like this? How do you like this food? Then he gives you the response. Then you use string. We have width. Width can be set from this side. Width is telling you how wide the whole thing should be, right? Then we have decimal place. How many decimal places do you want? Then label is where you type the actual question. And then value is when you are supposed to do the coding of the values. Then if they are missing data, if there are columns you want to deal with, if there are alignment, whether it should be left, right, or center. And then these are measures. When the things are in ordered form, then you use ordinal. When they are just the normal thing like gender, male, female, then you use nominal. But if it is ordered, strongly agree, disagree, those things, then you use ordinal. Then we have the row, which I won't use for now because of time. So this is how the interface looks like. Now I'll teach you what to do. For example, the first question we typed is what? Sex. So we type sex. Now, if I try to start with a number, 1, 6, it will give me an error. Because I've never seen anybody's name starting with 1 before. It always starts with a word. So, sex. And you don't space it. If I try to space it here, it will give me an error. You don't space it. So here we have sex. Then the type of data, by default, it is set as numeric. If I'm supposed to have sex, male, female, which I'm supposed to put in a certain order, I'll use numeric. If you have a questionnaire where people are supposed to tick, you give them options and they are supposed to tick, you use numeric. But if they are supposed to write the answer, then it is string. The way the decimal place, you leave it. Then here you come and type the question itself. Maybe sex of respondent. Here you can space, you can do whatever you want to do. Then the most important aspect of the SPSS is this section called value. It is only when you have a numeric value. I repeat, it is only when you have a numeric value or when people have the options to tick that you use this. When people are supposed to write, you don't put anything at the value section. So here, you click here. The value, I can put here 1, male, maybe because God created male before female, so I use 1, 2, female. I believe there are only two people, male and female. I don't know about the rest. So after everything, if there are more options, you keep increasing the numbers. But if I'm okay, I just click on. If everything is done, I just click on OK. There is none missing, there's no column, there's this, and then I come to the measurement. This is not in any order, so I just choose nominal. And this is it. So this is the variable. Then if you want to enter the data, you go to the data view. Now, data view 2 is female. Good. So let's see. Let's assume that you have your questionnaire. Number, this is 1. Okay, so you have your questionnaire. Right? You have your questionnaire. So this person says 1, this person says 1, this person says 1. Then 2, 2, maybe 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Something like this. Look at this. How many ones do we have? Okay, so we said 1 is what? 1 is
Male.
male. 2 is female. If you don't understand this, you see this tree. Yes, you see this tree. If you want to really check, you see this tree. 1A, click on it. Automatically, it gives you the responses. Or you click on it back, it gives you the 1, 2, 3. So that's how it goes. Right? It's not anything difficult. Now, there is something I want us to do again before I come back to this. Don't worry, I won't take so much of your time. I know it's a Sunday. Yes, please.
Can I ask a question?
Please do ask.
Yeah, please, if maybe in the questionnaire, you have a range, because the questionnaire, you put maybe the salary, who are taking salary below or between 10,000 to 2,000. It's a range.
Okay. So that is beautiful. I like such questions. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so let me go back to what I was doing. This is what we're doing, right?
Yes.
So let's come here. Salary. It's going to be numeric because we are giving them options, right? So salary of respondent. Then you still have to come to, because you've given them options, you come here. 1, maybe less than 100 Ghana, right? Something like this. 2, 100 to maybe 199, something like this. Is that what you are referring to?
Yes, please.
Yes.
That's what I'm
Good.
asking.
Yeah, so you can do it. It gives you that option. 3, maybe 200 to 299. Right? So maybe 4, 300 to what? 399.
99.
Good. So you can continue till you are tired.
Yes.
But let's stop here and then let's say more than 399. Hey, so no, this should be 5. Then I come here. More than 399. Now, when you are done with everything, you click on OK. Right? If you want to enter the data, you come to the data view. Then let's assume, right? This is what you had when we were going on the field. Let's see. If you are done with everything, you want to cross-check, just click on this arrow. Let me make an assumption. Let's assume that I made this 23, right? There's no 23 in the coding. So once I click on this, it is the only thing that will not change. It means that there's a mistake there. I have to go and correct that mistake. So this helps you identify whether there are mistakes or not. Right, so let me go back to it and make it 4. Once I go back, everything changes.
Okay.
Now, for those of you who want to say one of your objectives is to describe, let's assume that for those of you, one of your objectives is to describe. I want to describe this, I want to describe that. Right, I'll show you what to do. The key word is in SPSS, the key tool you use is analyze. Right, is to analyze. Just a minute. Sorry about that. Let me save this thing. And as usual, please learn to save your file. So file, save as. Let me just put it on research workshop. So save. Can I send it to you guys? Okay, so what we just did, I've sent it to you so that we can use that data to analyze a lot of stuff. So this is what we have. Let's see if we can analyze this data. So you come to analyze, then you go to descriptive. I want to see the frequency. Frequency. You can double click on this. Double click, or you can use the arrow, this arrow, to move it. So you can move. Then the statistics here is very important, right? You click on statistics. You have everything that you have there. Remember, you know the mean, the kurtosis, the range, the variance. So you can select whichever one you want. Then you can also have your chart. Let me put a bar chart here. I'm just going to do frequency. So when you are done with everything, you can just click. On OK. Once you click on OK, and voila, this is your result. This is what students have been presenting in their work. Did I hear somebody call? So you have male, salary, So, for example, the salary is there.
So you are having feedback. You are getting feedback from
Yes, they are getting feedback.
I think one of your colleagues, some of your colleagues have their, okay, so I've muted them. So I've muted everybody. That's okay. So you have your the sex of the respondent, you have the age, the salary range. And I intentionally generated a bar chart. One good thing about SPSS is it allows you to edit the cell. So for example, if I want to edit this, I just double click inside. Once you double click, it opens another file and you can do whatever you want to do. Right click. I mean, change. Or you can just click on it. You can either right click, it gives you a different, or you can double click on it and you have the bar options. You can minimize the bar, right? You can minimize it up to this. You can maximize it. You can even look at the chart and then decide to change the width. You can fill the colors. Maybe I want to make this, I don't like red, maybe green. When you finish, you click on apply and everything will change. Let's assume I want to change only male. So I click on them. On the male side, I want to make that one red. Then I can apply. Oh, that's not it. This is pink, right? The lady's color. Right. So you can have this. Once you have this, it's up to you. You can do so many things with it. Now, sometimes I like presentations where there are a lot of graphs and a lot of different colors within a graph. So that does not, when you do that, you don't speak too much. You don't explain too much because people can see and then they can say whatever it is. Another thing is here you can I use the frequency. But again, you can decide to use the chart.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, please, can you use the cursor so that we know where you are? I think in your explanation, you can be using the cursor so that we can follow.
Okay, I'm using the cursor, but maybe it's not so clear. Thanks so much for the prompting. Yeah, so this is how it is. Now, for those of you who have one of your objectives as described, it means you do a descriptive statistics. Is it okay? For those of you whose objective is to examine the relationship, you say, I want to examine the relationship between A and B. If you're only interested in relationship, then you will do more of a correlation analysis. For those of you who want to look at causality, whether A causes B, then you do what we call a regression analysis. Is it okay? For those of you who want to find out whether there are differences between A and B, when you say you want to examine whether there is a difference between A and B, then you will do what we call a t-test. Of you who want to find out whether there are differences between two variables, male and female, you do a t-test.
And those of us who want to do the challenges.
Yes, the challenges, it depends on what you want to do. Do you want to rank it or you just want to describe the challenges? Oh, somebody's network is bad. So, for those of you who want to do
challenges.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Can a project work, can you use two analysis at the same time, like
Yes.
a quantitative and a qualitative?
Yes, that is called a mixed approach.
A mixed approach, yes. So if you are using mixed approach, how are you going to go about it? Are you going to run two separate?
Yes, the analysis will be two different analyses. Yes, but you must learn to join them together so that the thoughts of the thoughts flow, so that they will not be disjointed. Right? So that they will not be disjointed. Now, the other thing is this. I'm going to send you where? Okay. I'm going to send you another data set just briefly, so that I think what we can also do is this. So for those of you who want to look at the challenges, it depends. Are you ranking the challenges, or you are just telling us what the challenges are? If you are ranking the challenges, then you do a rank test where you can rank all the challenges from the highest to the lowest. But if you are only interested in presenting the challenges,
like you wanted to find out why somebody find it difficult to maybe get something, so it's a challenge. So with that,
are you okay? So let's start. Is it going to be qualitative or quantitative?
Qualitative.
Qualitative. Okay.
Yes.
Now, the other thing is there's a software for analyzing qualitative data, which I use. It's called Nvivo. How many of you have seen cloud? But in your case, because it's undergraduate, you just write report and then reported speech, more like transcription. You transcribe whatever you heard. But there's a good software out there called Nvivo, which is used for qualitative analysis. Right. It's a very good software for qualitative analysis. But if you are not giving them the options, then I think that the best approach is for you to, if you are not giving them, then the best approach is for you to just do a report, a transcription, where you report whatever the individuals have said.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah. A quick one, please. Can you use the SPSS for both SPSS for quantitative?
SPSS, yes, we use it for quantitative.
That is like SPSS. So it's used for only quantitative SPSS.
It is best used for quantitative. People have tried using it for qualitative.
Okay.
But if you want to use it for qualitative, then you must look at major themes. For example, when you go for an interview, there are some who are very economical with their words. There are some who are very economical with their words. They will say A, B, C, D, done. There are some who can talk 3 hours. They can talk 10 minutes. But out of it, it's just one point they are trying to explain over and over again. So for SPSS, you can use it for qualitative when you can identify the various thematic areas. Then when there are various themes in whatever people say, it's very good. But apart from that, Nvivo, even all the softwares that even does qualitative, you must always look at the major themes, because you can't report whatever everybody says. Then it becomes monotonous.
Very well said.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, so I'm going to repeat again. For those of you who are going to do descriptive, you are going to describe. Then you do a descriptive analysis where you present the mean, median, the frequencies, and the rest. For those of you who want to look at the relationship between two things, right? If you want to look at the relationship between two things, then you are going to look at a correlation analysis. For those of you who want to look at the causal relationship, whether A causes B to increase or to decrease, then you are going to use what we refer to as a regression analysis. Now, for those of you who want to find out whether there are differences between, whether there is a significant difference between male and female performance in a class, let's assume somebody is doing that. Whether there are significant differences between male and female performance in maybe quantitative method, then you will do what we call a t-test. Now, for those of you who are interested in finding out whether there are significant differences between 3 or more objects, so are there significant differences between students who uses online, those who have face-to-face, and those who have blended, both online and then face-to-face? These are 3 different sets. And in that case, you are going to use what we call ANOVA, analysis of variance. So each objective has its own thematic thing that you are supposed to do in the data that is required. So you don't apply the same data set for everything. No. It varies from individual objective to objective, or individual research question to research question. Right. Now, one of the things I always tell my students is this, and I tell myself when I'm doing research is, what do I really want to do? Right. What do I really want to do? Right. So if I know what I want to do, then I go for it. Then I know which analysis I'm going to follow. Right. Now, there is another thing I want us to look at. If you have your data in Excel, CSV, you can easily transport them to SPSS. Right? You can easily transport them to SPSS.
Hello,
How
sir.
do you do that? Yes, please.
Yeah, please a quick one. So,
yes, please.
So please with the questionnaires. If
Yes.
you have maybe on a sheet of paper, you have about 15 questions on one, let's say 1, 2, 3, up to 15.
Yes.
And you printed like 50 of that 15 questions, meaning you have to enter all those 15 into the variable view before
exactly.
You can do the
data entry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I wish we could have more of such meetings, and then because then if this workshop was organized when you had your data, it would have been very easy, because then you take the opportunity to, look at your data set and then enter. But unfortunately, it's not the case. I think that it's also because COVID has destroyed every facet of our life. But all the same, let's move on. So let's assume you have this empty data set, and you have the data in Excel. You want to transport it. I'm going to show you 2 different ways of going about it. You see this thing that looks like a lady's purse or a gentleman's wallet. This folder here.
Yes, you see this.
Good. Just click on it. Then locate where the file is. In my case, it's in my download, right? It's in my downloads. But yours, it can be in your document or everything. Then you come here. How is the file saved? It's an Excel sheet. So I click here. Then it gives me all the Excel stuff. I'm interested in inventory, this particular one. Right? So once I locate it, I click on open. It will take some time to open, though not too long. It says it appears to be empty. Okay, so let's see. But it appears to be empty. So now let me use, I'm going to use this data set. There's a data set I sent to you guys called COB. Right, COB. Let's assume this one because this is better. I double click on it. I click on, once I locate it, I click on open. So it's able to, I just have to make sure I go through to make sure this is exactly the data set I want. Once this is exactly the data set I want, I click on OK. Voila. From Excel, it's here. I can click on the variable view and it puts everything. I don't need to do anything. It's able to identify which is numeric, which is string. I don't need to do anything. All my information is in there. So I can start my analysis if I want. So by using this wallet, it's very easy. The other approach, which I'll teach you, and it's also very easy, is copy and paste. Of course, we all like copy and paste. So why don't we just copy and paste the stuff?
Yes, sir.
So let's assume this is I'm recording this, right? So I'll have the video and then audio. I'll make sure you can have it. So, yes, please. I can't hear. Somebody is trying to say something, but I can hardly hear the person. Hello? Somebody. So this is the data set. It's in Excel. I'm going to copy everything. Somebody is trying to ask a question. So this is the data set up to here. I right click, copy. Right. I right click, I copy it. Once I right click and I copy, I locate my SPSS, which is this. When you come to SPSS, please come to the data view. The first row, first column, this place. Right click. It will take some time. Don't paste. Move to the next one, paste with variable names. Please, I repeat, don't paste. Move to the next one, paste with variable name. Click on paste with variable name. And then voila, everything is there. You don't need to worry your head. So there are two approaches. If you have your data in Excel, which is easy for you, just copy the Excel, put it in SPSS, and then off you go. Any question?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes,
so
boss.
What about if you did your work in SPSS and then you wanted to definitely you want to take it from where you've done the analysis to your work. Set that one to, you can just do the copy and paste and then go.
Please come again. You have your word in what? SPSS or Excel?
After you are done with the analysis in SPSS, you wanted to transport the whole work to your work where you are doing your book. That is where you can just copy what the analysis, the interpretation that you did in just, you can copy it straightforward from your SPSS and go and paste it in Word where you are doing your book.
Yes, so yes, let me show you something else, something which is very important. Yes, you can do that. Let me show you something which is very important. Right. I think that this was what we generated, right? This is what we generated. We generated something like this, where I changed this. You can even save this, right? You can save the output file. What does that mean? When you save it, it means that the next time you are coming, you don't worry yourself about running the results again. Once you open, all the results are there. So yours is just to copy. How do you copy? Right click it. You see, copy as. It even gives you the image. You see, copy as image, Microsoft graphic object. It gives you the option. I like to usually use copy, so I just copy it. Now let me go to where's my Word? Where's my Word? I was doing it somewhere. Let's assume that this is the work, right? I was working on some organizational structure stuff. Okay. Have you seen it? Yeah, so you can do anything you want. And you can equally save this output file. You can save it. Right? Once you save it, you click on the diskette sign. You save it. The next time you are going to do your analysis, you don't need to run everything. You just click on what you have saved and all your results shows up. So it allows you to save. Now, there's another, and then we can fix another time for us to have another discussion on it. But the other thing I want you to do is this. With your results, you can run the analysis. Very, very easy. You can do the analysis. For example, this was what we had, male, female. You can come here, analyze. Let's assume you want a correlation analysis. You come to correlation. Now, at the correlation side, pick by variance. At the correlation side, pick by variate. Right? The data set might not be, for this particular data set, might not be really good for our results, so don't worry. Then you select, look at this, there's Pearson, there's Spearman, which based on the type of data you have, you click on OK when you select your variable, and then it gives you your results. You see, anytime you run an analysis, the results keep piling up, piling up, piling up. So once you are done and you save, that ends it. So it shows the correlation results here. SPSS is very user-friendly, very easy. Let me just repeat what I just did. Analyze, correlation, bivariate. Remember I told you about this arrow? Let's say it is here. I want to move everything to the right. So I click on this, I click on this. Let's assume I want to do Pearson and Spearman. I click on it. Click on, I want to do both. I click on this, and I click on OK. So it gives me the results. And if you see here, it says this is Spearman. So this is a Spearman. Then this is a Pearson. Right. So you can have a lot of the analysis done. Any question? Any question?
Sir.
Any question? Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
doing
please.
the analysis. I think you saw two tail and one tail. So it's what the difference?
Yes, there's a difference. Usually, we say your data is normally distributed. Right. Let me give you, for example, let me just do something here. If you have a data set, something like this. If I'm looking at the left-hand side, this is one tail, right? If I look at both left and right together, then it becomes a two-tailed test. It means I'm looking at both left and right together. Any question? Any question? Any question, please?
No question.
No questions, sir.
Okay.
No question. But
okay.
Mine is just a plea. Whether if you can get another time so that we can really convey again.
Yes. So let's have a discussion on it.
Okay.
I'm prepared to sacrifice some hours so that we can have a good time. Because this is just the introduction. We have so many things we need to do.
Okay.
I'll take my time, go through the correlation, go through the regression, go through most of the analysis. It would have been nice if we all had our data.
Okay.
Then you sit as a group. So then the question comes, and then I can easily say, okay, let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. Then you understand the data aspect of it.
Okay.
So don't worry. I'm ever ready to help as much as I can.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Yes. You're welcome. Okay. So if there are no questions or anything, I think that it will be on. Thank you so much for your audience. Sorry, I have to take you on a Sunday that you need to rest for tomorrow. But all the same, I hope it is worthwhile. And All criticism and comments are welcome. If you have any suggestion, any idea you think it will help improve it, let me know, and then the next time I would work towards improving it. Until then,
can I get the video?
Yes, I'll give you the video.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
Thanks so much. God bless.
So can we get your contact so that?
Yes, my contact is always available for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So have a good evening, and then I think.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Is it Ransford?
Thank you.
Ransford.
Yes,
God bless.
Yes, I would. I'll get in touch now that I have your
email address.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay.
So that email is a group email.
Okay, so I'll send an email, and then so Ransford, I'm sending you my email. You can get in touch with me, and then from there we can pick it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless you, sir.
God bless us all.
God bless.
God bless us all.
Thank you.
And then you're welcome. Enjoy your evening. Yes, please.
You too. Please, I'll call you.
I'm around.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I have to move to another meeting right now, so please enjoy your evening and stay blessed.
Okay. You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless you.